Hello everyone, we are Team Mecha Mantises and today we are going to be going over FTC software. So first we're going to be downloading Java 8 from Oracle. We're going to be then installing the Android Studio IDE. We're going to then be downloading the FTC simulator. We're going to import and build the FTC simulator into Android Studio. We're going to run our first teleop program. Then we're going to make our own autonomous program. And then we're going to be taking a deeper look into the software diagram using the FTC simulator. And then lastly, we'll be walking through the software evolution and the classes. So first you would want to download Java 8 from Oracle. So go to the link over here, which will also be in the description. And then you have to scroll down until you find the correct file for your operating system. So I am on a Mac OS, so I would use the DMG file. If you're on a Windows, you would probably use this one. So since I'm on a Mac, I'm going to install the Mac OS. You have to accept this and then download. By the way, you also have to sign in or create an account in order to download the file, so make sure you do that. So once this is installed, you download it, you want to open the file. So right now this is opening, and then you just want to wait for this to open and then go through the installation process. So you can give that a few minutes. So then you'll be prompted like this. You need to double click the icon to install. This opens my installer. So then you'll have an installation window, and then you just need to press continue like any other installation. Press install. You need to probably put in your password if you're on a Mac. And then you need to wait for this to install. This won't take such a long time, maybe a few minutes at the most. So while that's installing, we can go back and then we want to install the Android Studio IDE. So we're gonna go to this link for the Android Studio, which will also be in the description. So this one installed, so you can just press close and then move to trash. And you can close all of that. Okay, then back to the Android Studio. You want to click download Android Studio. It'll give you terms and conditions. Make sure you have read them. I have a Mac with an Intel chip, so I'm gonna click that. And that's installing. I already have this installed, as you can see by my previous downloads, but you probably don't, so just wait for this to install. It may take a few minutes because it's a pretty large file. So while that's downloading, you can go back. Then we also want to download the FTC simulator. So again, you can go to this link. It'll also be in the description of this video. And you will be taken to a GitHub page that looks like this. You want to press the code button and then you want to click download zip. So as you can see, that's also completed and this one's almost done, so you can just wait for this to complete first, or while that's completing we'll just unzip this one because we need to unzip it in order to use the file. So we can just go to our file manager or finder if you're on a Mac, and you can go to your downloads, and you can see this. You just need to right click it, open with archive utility. That'll open, and then this one also fully downloaded, so you can just double click this as well. So then this one also opened. So you just need to unzip this one, and this one's also opening at the same time. So you can wait for that to install, and by that time we'll check the next steps. So if you're on Windows, it would look pretty much the same. You just extract all, and yes. So we're still waiting for the Android Studio to install. It's finishing. And on Mac it should open something like this. On Windows you might be prompted through an installation process. You just have to drag this here. And that should install Android Studio. So it's copying. I already have Android Studio. I'm just going to keep both. This might take a while to install. As I said, it's a pretty large file. Okay, so that has finished installing. We can go to our Finder, Applications, and mine's is called Android Studio 2 because this is the second time I've installed it. Okay, so next we're just going to open Android Studio. So that will open. Since this is the first time I've opened this, it'll just verify it. And next you want to open Android Studio. Once that's done opening, you would want to click the open button on the first screen. When it's done verifying, just click open. And it should open to a page. So mine's is still opening at the moment. Okay, now it's done opening. it should open a screen. I already have projects, so you can just press cancel. Don't open. You can just press don't send. Once that, you should have a window that says welcome to Android Studio. This you can press the button named open. Yours might look a bit different since you don't have existing projects. So then you want to go to wherever you unzipped. I stored mine in my desktop. So once you go to desktop, you would see your virtual robot master 4. Just want to click it and then you want to press open. Just press trust project. And this should open, may take a few minutes. Okay. So once you have opened this, you want to go and click on SDK and add SDK, JDK, and go to Program Files, Java, then the JDK file. So once it opens like this, if most may already have this installed, but you want to go to File, Project Structure. Want to make sure that your version is 1.8. If it's not, go here and you want to press Add JDK. Once you press Add JDK, you want to go here and make sure you press JDK 1.8.0. And you should already have this installed from when you installed it in the first step when you installed the JDK from Oracle Java 8. And you just want to press open. I'm just going to press cancel since I already have that, and cancel again. Then this is still going to be loading, scanning files to index. You can just let it do its thing. And once it's done, this may take a few minutes to complete. This may take a few minutes to complete. Okay, so now that that's complete, we can just press the run button up here. It will build, as you can see on the bottom over here. On the first time it might take a while in order to build since it's the first time running. Okay, so now that that's done, you should get a window that looks something like this. So this is your virtual robot simulator. So in order to run our first teleop program, so this is just how you do the JDK and SDK on Windows. And to run our first teleop program, you want to say configurations, you want to change Mecha bot to two-wheel bot. So I'm going to change this to two-wheel bot. And we are going to change armbot demo to two-wheel demo op mode. So yours is going to say armbot demo here. You just want to change it to two-wheel demo op mode. The one I had was like the autonomous programs we're going to do next. So you can just move your robot over there. You can press init, then you can press start. In order to like play around with this, you can like use this to control the arm. Use Y to go forward, X to turn, B to turn, A to go backwards, and that's basically your first teleop program. So now we're gonna go with our first autonomous program. So we're just gonna stop here. So the first thing you want to do is you want to right click where it says org.first.spars.ftc.teamcode, click Java class, and you want to make your first autonomous program. So you can say my first autonomous, and you can just press enter. Kind of messed up with the I over there, but that's fine. So the first thing you want to do is that you want to declare that this is going to be a linear op mode, which means that the op mode is going to run in a straight line. That means the code is going to execute like one line after another, like first line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line. So you want to do that by saying extends, and you want to say linear op mode. And this might not recognize what it is, so you can just go click on it, and then you can press Alt Enter, and you can press Import Class. And then it'll import this statement over here. Okay, next what you want to do is that you want to make a loop that's like the run op mode loop, like in like the class that says to run op mode. So you want the function to like run the op mode, public void run op mode, and then you want to put two parentheses like that, and then you want to put the curly brackets and just press enter. Okay, so the first thing you want to do in this is that you want to declare your DC motor. So you can say DC motor left motor is equal to, and it doesn't know what DC is, so the same thing, you want to press Alt Enter and import class. You want to say hardware map dot DC motor dot get, and in parentheses you want to say your device name. So in the FTC simulator in a two-wheel bot, you want to say it's left underscore motor. And every statement in Java has to end with a semicolon at the end. And we are getting an error here. Oh yeah, my bad. We have to put double quotes here, not single quotes. That does matter in a lot of cases. And you want to say the same thing for the right motor. So you want to say right motor is equal to hardware map.dcmotor.get right motor. So basically what this is doing is that it's fetching the hardware map and it's getting the two DC motors from, like, let's say you had like a control hub, which is basically the hub where all the ports are connected to. This tells you like where exactly the left motor and right motor are on the control hub. So the next what you want to do is you want to set the left motor to reverse, because since like both of the motors are running like the same way, and like technically like one of the motors is flipped, so the left motor has to be running in the same direction as the right motor, so you want to set the left motor direction to reverse, so when you set the powers for both of them, they'll both be going forward. So you just want to say reverse, and it should pop up over here. You just want to click that and press enter, and that's good. And then you want to add these few lines of code in order to make sure you're using encoders, because we're going to be using that in our autonomous programs. So you want to say left motor dot set mode, stop and reset encoder. You want to do the same thing for the right motor dot set mode, stop and reset encoder. And then you want to do left motor dot set mode, run using encoder, and you want to do the same thing for the right motor dot set mode, run using not run to position, dot run using encoder. Okay, and that's good. Okay, next what you want to do is that you want to set a while loop. While op mode is not, so when you have an exclamation mark in front, that means not. And then you want to do and then stop, and that means stop is not requested. And then you want to do, so this is basically the initialization phase. So this is before the robot starts, and this is in like the init, so this initializes everything. And you wanna add like a console log, which is known as telemetry in FTC. So you wanna say telemetry dot add data. You wanna say initialize, and then comma, ready to start. This will basically tell the user that everything over here went perfectly fine and it's ready to start. And then you can just say telemetry.update in order to update and add whatever it said here. Okay. Then you can say wait for start. Which is basically waits for the start button, and then you can set the powers for the left and right motor. So left motor dot set power 1. This is basically going to run it at the speed of 1, and 1 and -1 are the lowest and highest power. So 1 is basically equal to 100%, and like 0.9 is 90%, etc. And you want to say right motor set power 1. This will basically run it infinitely, but since there is no loop, it won't do anything. So in order to make it go, you want it to sleep for however long as you want. So I'm just going to do 5,000 milliseconds, which means 5 seconds. And then I'm just going to put stop. This will stop the robot. So basically what this will do is it will run both the motors for 5 seconds and then stop it. This is basically going to be your first autonomous program. After we run this, we're going to go over the problems with these and how to fix this. So you can just press this button, press stop and rerun. Should be done building. And oh wait, actually I made a mistake. So first what you want to do is you want to do autonomous at the front, and then you want to say name, double quotes actually, name, oh, no quotes, name is equal to, and then you can name this like my first autonomous, and that's going to be the name of your file, and then you can just rerun this again. If you don't put this won't show up in your simulator, so that was my mistake. Okay, now you'll have the simulator. You can go into configurations. You want to click two-wheel bot since we only have two wheels, and you will see my first autonomous. So you want to move the robot a bit back because it's going to be going forward. You can press init as it says initialized ready to start as we put, and you want to press start. And as you can see, it ran for 5 seconds and then it stopped. So we're going to be going over a few problems with this. So first is that motors can heat because continuous running of motors. So a problem with this is we already solved this, is that we already solved this in one way. So basically you always want to put a stop at the end of your autonomous or the motors will keep running. And then you also want to make sure you set the left motor .set power to 0 every time afterwards. This may seem like completely useless since we already have stop, but it's actually important because many times your motors may keep on running and then they may overheat and burn out, and that's also a waste of money and a waste of time. So you just want to make sure you set the power equal to 0 in your software. And then one more is that inconsistent distance while running the motors using the time sleep function. So basically, as you can see, we're only running it for 5 seconds, but this can be very inconsistent because you don't have a specified way, like how much rotations or distance. This is just for time, and if you get like stuck at a wall or something, then it'll still say it's only running for 5 seconds. And this is why you want to use encoders, which basically do it based on how many rotations or ticks the motor has run. So we're going to change this. So we're going to remove this sleep, and we're going to replace this with a while loop. And we're going to say while left motor dot get current position is less than. So in the motor in the simulator, 1120 ticks is equal to 1 rotation. So if we want the robot to run for a specified amount of rotations, we can say 3, which means 3 rotations times 1120, and then we can just put that, and that'll basically have a continuous while loop, and we can just leave that empty. And that basically makes it more consistent. So as you can see, we'll just rerun this, stop and rerun. And you can see here, we'll go change this to our two-wheel bot, my first autonomous. Move this a bit back, we'll press init, ready to start it, and it ran for 3 rotations and start. So that's your first autonomous program. If you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments below. But that's it for today. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.